working on mostly this week? Have you even looked at UMass, or is it about fixing South Carolina first?
It's this week's all about South Carolina. You know, we obviously displayed a little bit of struggles on offense, and we're really focused on getting us better.
In your mind, Mason, what has been the biggest struggle or biggest problem for why the offense continues to struggle?
We got to continue to get better in everything that we're doing, and it starts up front with the offensive line. You know, obviously, us as a unit, we need to get better and open up more holes, and pass protect for longer and things like that.
Coach Muschamp, he's talking about changes and being more creative. Do you expect something dramatic, or do you expect fine-tuning offensively?
With Coach Muschamp, I expect anything, really. You know, it could be dramatic, it could be just fine-tuning. You just kind of never know, and that's how we're going to go about our business, and whatever Coach wants us to do is what we're going to do.
What has Roper's demeanor been like through this? Is he a pretty even-keeled guy? Is he, is he hot under the collar? How does that work?
Coach Roper is a very positive guy. You know, very positive. It's easy right now. We're struggling on offense, and it's easy to say, well, just fly off the handle and just absolutely. I mean, he does get after us. I'm not trying to say he doesn't, but it's easy to be negative and be down, and he's not like that at all. And he's progressive and wants to continue to get better.
What about the rest of the coaching staff? And you see it at practice. I mean, how are they handling?
The same exact way. We don't tolerate negative attitudes or anything of that kind of nature here at South Carolina.
When you went over the film against Georgia, was there anything specific that kind of popped out about your guys' performance?
You look at, we gave as an offensive line, we gave it 3 sacks and only had 30 yards rushing in the first quarter or second quarter or whatever it was, and you think the offensive line didn't play very well. And you look back on film, we didn't play great by any means, but we played better than maybe what the stats were showing. But we got to continue to get better at everything we do.
Mason, how does Jake look out in practice, especially through these first 6 weeks?
Jake gets limited reps, so I see him maybe 2 reps a practice, and he's definitely a guy that has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. He's got a strong arm. He's of course he's a coach's son, so he's got great football smarts, and he's got a bright future.
Have you guys identified a theme on third down for why it's not more successful? Is there something specific? Is it the distances are just too far to convert consistently? Or?
Well, you don't want to get behind the sticks, and of course the first series of last game we got 2 penalties back-to-back. Questionable or not questionable, it's not up to me, but when you get behind, first and 25, it's hard to game plan from there. It's hard to call plays from there, and ultimately it's hard to execute there from that kind of distance. But regardless of the down and distance, we still have a job, and that's to continue to get first downs and put consecutive first downs together to get a touchdown, and we got to do that.
I know you guys didn't expect to be 2-4, but realistically, looking at this program where it is right now, 3-3, 4-2. I mean, is that what you guys were hopefully thinking about at the halfway point here?
No, I don't hope to win 3 or 4 games or lose.
At the halfway point.
Yeah, halfway point. At the beginning of the season, I was hoping to win all of them. I don't go into a game with the expectations of losing one.
But realistically, given the thinness of the roster and everything, and the tough schedule, I mean, is there one game that you really feel like, that's one game we really gave away?
No, realistically, I believe that this team is capable and talented enough to win any game that we play. Mm-hmm. And if there's a guy on the team that doesn't think the same thing, then you can leave.
You mentioned not paying attention to negativity. Is it harder to tune that kind of stuff out when you're on bye week and have some free time on your hands? Or
no, I mean that comes with the maturity of the individual. If you allow things like that to get into your head and things of that nature, I personally have shut down my social medias. I'm locked in on football.
Mason, a year ago this week was the changeover from Coach Spurrier. How far do you guys think you've come since then? That seemed like a real time of turmoil for you guys.
Can you repeat that?
I was saying a year ago this week was the changeover from Coach Spurrier.
Right.
How far do you guys think you've come since then at dealing with all the turmoil and things that took place in the second half of the season?
That's one thing that I love about my teammates, and I'm going to carry with me the rest of my life, is that these men fight. There's so much fight in all of these guys and our coaches and our support staff. Everyone just wants to continue to fight and continue to get better and continue to raise the bar and continue to push our own limits. And that's something that I've seen that I love it. That's why I love being here. It's just a blue collar mentality, and nobody's going to give up.
What's the schedule this week for you guys? Are you guys going to go, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of thing?
So far that I know, we're practicing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
How different does this program feel from a year ago?
Well, I mean, it's everyone. God, everyone wants to compare the two things.
Not necessarily comparing, but just
or a year out, but it's different. I mean, it's different coaching staff. It's different. Things that they want to instill. Coach Muschamp's big on ETD for effort, toughness, discipline. That's what he drills into us. So it's just a little bit different.
That night when Coach Spurrier told you guys a year ago, is that still vivid in your mind?
Yeah. That I would be the last team that Coach Spurrier ever coached, a legendary coach, a Hall of Fame coach. Yeah.
Does it seem like it was a year ago? Does it seem like it was 10 years ago? I mean,
I don't even really think about it, man. Honestly, I focus one day at a time, and today we focus on South Carolina getting better. Tomorrow I'm gonna continue to focus on getting South Carolina better and getting myself better.
For the offensive line as a unit, how good will it be to get Blake back to full strength and Donnell getting back too?
Oh, both of those guys are tremendous helps to us. And the more depth you can have at offensive line, obviously the better. And more depth at any position, the better.
What will you do this weekend? Do you guys get away totally from football? Do you work out it all on your own?
Well, we're supposed to have Friday and Saturday off, and we're going to come back into the building Sunday afternoon, kind of a check-in and have a practice and start game week. But for most guys, it's an opportunity to go home, recharge and just re-engage and come back with a better attitude and maybe decompress a little bit. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Do you get away from football totally? Will you watch games? I mean, what will you do?
I will get away from football totally. But I will not stop thinking about what I have to do here. You know how it is. You get away from work, but work comes with you, I know I'm still going to take my iPad. I'm still going to watch practice. I may not watch other teams, but I'm still going to watch old practices. I'm already watching UMass, so –
and I know this doesn't really affect you, but obviously Joe Connolly's up there at UMass now, and obviously you work, he was a strength coach here. I mean, do you still keep in touch with him at all?
We touched base a few times prior to the season started. He would, best wishes, stuff like that. I got nothing but respect for Coach Joe. I mean, he did a hell of a job here. I mean, he helped develop me, and it's going to be nice to see him, but he's going to be on the other end of a beating, I hope.
You said you watched a little bit of UMass. I think they gave Florida a good battle in the opening game.
They did.
And they gave Mississippi State a heck of a battle up there in Foxborough a few weeks ago.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of people sort of thinking UMass, well, they're independent and not very good, but it seems like they're a lot tougher team. They're playing the SEC team is very tough this year.
Yeah, they're a good ball team. They're coached well. They play a good assignment fit football, and if anyone on our team wants to take them lightly, then it's gonna be a bad mistake, because we're not in a position to say we're better than anybody. The most important game is the next game, and right now UMass is our next game, and that's the most important thing.
When you guys look at the SEC stats and see South Carolina's last in the SEC in rushing, is the offensive line and running backs going to get together and say, "Hey, that's not acceptable. We got to do what it takes to do better than that"?
Absolutely. I mean, there's one thing that I stress, and a lot of things that I personally say to the guys, and we say amongst each other, is we're just not satisfied. We're all really honestly pissed off about it, and we're working every day to get better. And we ask that everyone just kind of stay patient.